Yo guys, welcome to the 2020 BFW draft, and it's been a long time since we did one of these. I believe it was after my WrestleMania last year, and that's when the next one will be. Basically what I'm going to do in this video is a draft between all the members of the BFW roster. So everyone right now is unassigned to any brand, so any brand they were on previously. For example, let's just say Ricochet, he was on Raw, like last week when he was Cruiserweight Champion, but now he is unassigned to any brand, so he could end up anywhere. Same goes for everyone. And I'm gonna go into people who don't have brands, like managers and stuff, and just legends or whatever who I have in my collection. And we'll go through like some of the storylines heading into this period after WrestleMania. So I'm just gonna pick one from Raw that's going in. A few days ago, I went through everything and I wrote down in this notepad where everyone's gonna go, just so I don't forget. And yeah, I'm just going to go through and put them in the box. So this is going to be Raw. This box is going to be Raw here. This one's going to be SmackDown on the right. So, I guess we better get into the first draft pick. If you guys saw the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania on my Instagram, be sure to go check that out. I will cover some of the details of what happened on those nights in this video. So, let's just get right into this. Let's get into the first round draft pick. And the first draft pick is, of course, your new BFW World Heavyweight Champion, Apollo Crews. And he was on SmackDown for a long time, I think like 3 years, and then when he challenged Omega, he was moved over to Raw, and that's where he's going to be staying as the top champion over on Monday Night Raw. So, Apollo, we'll put you down there. What's the best way to do this? I don't even know. So yeah, Apollo Crews will be going over to Raw. We just put him in there. And then for SmackDown, of course, we have their world champion. We have Adam Cole, baby, sticking on SmackDown. And obviously with a successful win over Mustafa Ali and Drew McIntyre on night 2. And on the BFW SmackDown after WrestleMania, he almost lost the title to Roderick Strong in a winner-takes-all match, but it was DQ finish, so no one took both the belts. So he stayed as BFW champion, but he almost lost it. So, Adam Cole will be sticking on SmackDown. Just move that over there. And, so now back to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, they need a mid-card champion. And moving over from SmackDown is the current US champion, Pete Dunne. So he's going to be moving over to Monday Night Raw after being on SmackDown for like the first year of his career and still holding that US title. So he's bringing that over to Monday Night Raw, back over to Raw, which is where it used to be, I think 2 years ago. Pete Dunne bringing the US title back to Monday Night Raw. And now moving over to SmackDown from Raw is your current Intercontinental Champion, Johnny Gargano. So the Intercontinental Championship going back over to SmackDown. And Gargano being on Raw for pretty much his whole career over the last year, winning the Raw Tag titles. And drafted separately from Ciampa because he's a champion. So we'll have to see where Ciampa ends up. So Gargano, this is really awkward. Put all the figures in the bin. God damn it. It keeps getting out of focus or something, but oh. Next for Monday Night Raw, they need their tag team champions, and they are Cedric Alexander and Umaga. So they're going to be sticking on Raw with their Raw Tag Team Championships. And I wonder what new teams come over to challenge them. And then obviously on SmackDown, they need the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Let's try to find them. We have Undisputed Era, so Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. The other 2 quarters, the other half of Undisputed Era, I should say. I don't know why I said 2 quarters, but yeah, whatever. SmackDown Tag Team Champions sticking on SmackDown after winning them at Mania. And next, moving over to Raw, this is the last champion that's going to be moving. We have from SmackDown, the Velveteen Dream, the North American champion, moving over to Monday Night Raw with the North American title. So, the Dream coming over to the red brand. And this obviously means that the Cruiserweight champion, Roderick Strong, is going to be moving over to SmackDown. So the Cruiserweight title going to SmackDown for the first time since its existence in BFW. So yeah, see, obviously Roddy almost won the world title on SmackDown on Tuesday, early this week on the SmackDown After Mania against Adam Cole. So yeah, all those guys on the same brand. I'm sure that feud will continue going forward. And now we just get into the regular roster. So no champions. So up first we have Kenny Omega, who's going to be sticking on Monday Night Raw. Obviously lost his world title at Mania against Apollo. Going back on the same brand, I'm sure he wants it back. But currently he's in a situation with Finn Balor and AJ Styles, where they claim the Young Bucks were hired by him to cost Balor the Money in the Bank briefcase. But Kenny is claiming that he never hired them. And yeah, so a bit of a sticky situation that he's in. So Kenny Omega on Raw. And then for SmackDown, we have other Undisputed Era member, Daniel Bryan, moving back over to SmackDown, saved Adam Cole from losing the title on early this week on the SmackDown After Mania. And Undisputed Era were kind of annoyed at him that he lost to Shawn Michaels at Mania, but you know he saved Cole in that match, so I'm sure they forgive him slightly. Yeah, and up next for Monday Night Raw, we have who's next? We have Jon Moxley, obviously returning the Casino Battle Royale, and his challenge. He wants a match against Seth Rollins, and on Raw he countered the curb stomp from behind into the paradigm shift, laying Rollins out with a challenge. So yeah, Jon Moxley moving over to Raw. I think Dean Ambrose was always on Raw, but yeah, Jon Moxley now on Raw. So even though it's the same person, you know, but whatever. Up next, moving over from Raw to SmackDown, we have Aleister Black. Yeah, he's been on Raw for a while, all of last year. So he's going to be moving over to SmackDown. Obviously, he lost to Pac at WrestleMania, and yeah, he's going to be looking to get back on track after losing his world title in recent months as well. So yeah, Aleister Black looking to have a fresh start on SmackDown. That's just so hard to put them down when the camera's in the way. But yeah, so that's how the rosters are looking right now. And then the person who defeated Aleister Black at WrestleMania is Pac, and he attacked Ricochet in the main event of Raw. Well, the main event match. Obviously Ricochet beat him at SummerSlam last year for the Cruiserweight title. So it looks like Pac is on a revenge tour, going after everyone who has beat him in the past, and yeah, going after challenging Ricochet. So Pac is going on Raw. And up next on SmackDown we have Tommaso Ciampa, the returning Tommaso Ciampa, going over to SmackDown with his DIY buddy Johnny Gargano. And he beat Dolph Ziggler this past week on Raw, and yeah, now making the jump over to SmackDown. So Tommaso Ciampa right there. Now moving from SmackDown to Raw, we have Drew McIntyre, who feels like he was robbed in the triple threat this week on WrestleMania. After WrestleMania, where the winner would face Apollo at Payback, he got Sweet Chin Music and rolled up, and he claims he kicked out, but the referee never saw it, so he clamored the ref right in his face. So yeah, Drew McIntyre is sticking on Raw. I'm sure he wants another shot at the world title, if he can get one. Okay, so I've switched the angle of the camera, and I think this is a lot better. I should have done this from the start, but whatever, you can see the roster's a lot better now. So that was Raw, and yeah, now moving over to SmackDown, we have Mr. Money in the Bank Andrade. So he's going to be going over to SmackDown with the briefcase that he won at WrestleMania. So nice. Yeah, Andrade there. This angle should be better, but yeah. Now moving over to Raw, we have sticking on Raw actually, former Cruiserweight champion Ricochet going over there, and Pac attacked him, so you can probably tell where that's going. In a rematch from SummerSlam. Andrade did move over from Raw to SmackDown as well, by the way. So yeah, Ricochet is sticking on the red band. And up next on SmackDown, we have who's next? I don't know who's next, honestly. We have new signee Lars Sullivan, who made his debut this past week and threw Enzo Amore from the ring through the announce table. So, yeah, rip Enzo, and Lars Sullivan has arrived with his blue trunks on the blue brand. So yeah, I wonder who his first real opponent could be. And yeah. So up next on Raw, we have the new tag team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Kazuchika Okada. Okada beat Zayn at WrestleMania. Nakamura lost against Dunn for the US title on night 1. Then he heel turned against Dunn on after the match. Then Okada came out and delivered a Rainmaker to Dunn. And yeah, they took out Zayn on the Raw after Mania as well, who was saved by a friend, thankfully. But yeah, Okada and Nakamura looking to bring devastation to the red brand. Nakamura moving over from SmackDown, and Okada never really had a brand, even though he was on SmackDown. But yeah, so officially signed to Raw. I just knocked my light down. Nice. Just put it back up. Alright, so now we need another SmackDown one. SmackDown, we have Mustafa Ali moving over to SmackDown. No, he's always on SmackDown, sorry, but the Cruiserweight title over there. Could we see Ali go after that title? I don't know. But yeah, unsuccessful at WrestleMania. Won the Casino Battle Royale with Drew in a draw. And yeah, came so close to win the title, but got hit with the Panama Sunrise and last shot to lose. But yeah, he's going to be sticking on SmackDown. So we've got Ali. Let's put him over there. I have no choice but to throw him, sorry. Right. So up next on Raw, we have Seth Rollins, who's going to be sticking on Raw in his feud against Jon Moxley, who threw him out of the Casino Battle Royale, and then Seth came back in and threw Moxley out, so yada yada yada, you know. So yeah, Seth Rollins sticking on the red brand, right there. And up next for SmackDown, we have Luke Harper, who made his return in the Casino Battle Royale, taking out former friend Rowan. And yeah, Luke Harper going to be sticking on SmackDown, joining Lars over there. That could be interesting. Yeah. So I think we need to get some tag teams in here, or some factions. So we have the rest of the Bullet Club sticking on Raw. We have Dolph Ziggler, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson all sticking on Raw with Kenny. So yeah, I'm sticking over on Raw. Dolph losing his Intercontinental Championship at Mania against Gargano, and the Club losing against Cedric and Umaga. Yeah, not a great weekend for the Club was last weekend. Yeah. And moving over to SmackDown, we have the team of Cesaro and Sheamus, who lost in that 6-man tag at Mania. Cesaro got beat by Matt Riddle in a very close match on SmackDown this week. But yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro are moving over as a pair. That doesn't mean they'll always stick together. We'll have to see where this goes, whether they'll stick as a tag team or go singles in a singles direction. Oh, God, I have to hair thrown. But yeah, next for Raw, we have #1 contender for the world title, Shawn Michaels, who beat Drew McIntyre and Ricochet in a triple threat, controversially. But yeah, he's the #1 contender for Apollo Crews' world title. After a big win over Daniel Bryan at Mania. Doesn't have to retire, so he's going for the big one. So yeah, that's Shawn Michaels right now. And then back to SmackDown, we have Gran Metalik going over there, who got took out by Andrade in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He was so close to winning, and then on the SmackDown after Mania, Andrade beat Metalik and then hit the Hamlock DDT onto the briefcase after the match. So yeah, unfortunately for Gran Metalik, and the Cruiserweight title is back over here, so maybe Metalik could go after that in the future. And then back to Raw, we have coming over from SmackDown to Raw, we have Finn Balor, who's obviously involved in that thing with Kenny Omega and AJ Styles. But yeah, Finn Balor coming over from SmackDown to Raw. I think he's been on SmackDown a year now, because he lost his world title last year at WrestleMania. Hasn't had a very successful year. But yeah, that was all took away from him by the Young Bucks at WrestleMania, as he was about to win the case. So yeah, Finn Balor sticking on Raw. And back to SmackDown, we have who next? we have Matt Riddle coming over, sticking on SmackDown after winning the six-man tag and defeating Cesaro on SmackDown this week. So yeah, Matt Riddle going to be sticking on SmackDown. Let's see what the bro does over on the blue brand. And up next on Raw, we have AJ Styles, who is formed an alliance with Finn Balor to take out Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Whoever is behind it all, we don't know. But yeah, AJ Styles coming over to the red brand. I don't think he's ever been on Raw in my fed. So yeah, this is kind of new. So yeah, AJ Styles going on Raw. And up next we have, coming over from Raw to SmackDown, is Kane, who made his return in the Casino Battle Royale. Had a little alliance with Hurricane. And yeah, on SmackDown this week, Hurricane tried to form a team with him, but he denied. But Kane is coming over to the blue brand, despite being dressed in all red, but you know what, whatever. And up next on Raw, we have, coming over from SmackDown, Cassius Ohno. Unsuccessful in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but coming over to Raw, hoping to knock some people out, you know. That's what he does. Yeah, and coming over to SmackDown, who made his debut on Raw this week against Heath Slater and completely destroyed him in a few seconds. We have Trevor Lee, but he's going to be going over to the blue brand despite making his debut on Raw this week. Yeah, Trevor Lee going over here looking to capture that Cruiserweight Championship, maybe go for the Intercontinental Championship. Hey, even the World Title, who knows? But yeah, Trevor Lee going to SmackDown. Now moving back over to the red brand, we have the newest tag team signee, the Young Bucks, coming over to Raw after costing Finn Balor the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania and super kicking AJ, as well as on Monday Night Raw this week. And Kenny Omega getting away and being like, yo, what the hell, what are you guys doing here? But yeah, the Young Bucks coming over to Monday Night Raw. Right, I'm really struggling to talk because I've got the hiccups and I've got a sore throat. So yeah, that's my excuse if I sound funny. But then moving over to SmackDown is new signee Darby Allin, who made his debut in a backstage promo this week on SmackDown. But yeah, Darby Allin coming over to SmackDown. Cruiserweight title over there, I'm sure he could challenge for that. So we'll have to see. A lot of Cruiserweights going over to SmackDown. You can probably tell where I'm going with that. But yeah, now moving, sticking on Raw, Buddy Murphy, so away from the Cruiserweight title. Despite not being pinned in the match, he's going to be sticking on Raw for the next year. So, yeah. Now, for SmackDown, we have someone who returned in the Casino Battle Royale and dominated at the start. We have Rowan. So moving over there with Harper, I wonder if those two will collide again. So yeah, Rowan moving over to SmackDown, sticking on SmackDown, sorry. I keep forgetting which brand they were on. But yeah, now moving over to Raw is Jeff Hardy. Him and Matt on Raw said they want to go their separate ways. They have no idea what happened to them with Bray Wyatt. They have no idea where Bray Wyatt is. And yeah, they want to go their separate ways because they've been a tag team for so many years in BFW. So he's going to be going over to Raw to try and become a singles competitor. And then for SmackDown, I guess it only makes sense that we put Matt Hardy here. Yeah, the Hardy Boys officially split, and Matt Hardy going over to SmackDown as Jeff goes to Raw. And then up next, moving over to Raw, is Samoa Joe from SmackDown. I believe he was on SmackDown. But yeah, Joe now going over to Raw. Awesome new Joe figure. Moving over to SmackDown. Moving over to SmackDown, Randy Orton from Monday Night Raw. Hasn't been seen in a while. I believe since, when was the last time we saw him? Was in the Last Chance Battle Royal, maybe, for Money in the Bank before WrestleMania. And he wasn't at WrestleMania because he lost his Last Chance Battle Royal to get the Money in the Bank match. But yeah, Randy Orton is going to be coming over to SmackDown or Raw. No, SmackDown. I messed that up. He's going to SmackDown. I was meant to choose someone to go over to. No, we just did Joe, right? I'm losing where I'm at. But yeah, Randy Orton going over to SmackDown. And then coming over to Raw, away from the person he was teaming with at WrestleMania, is Keith Lee, away from Matt Riddle. So yeah, they will not be teaming anymore. Keith Lee coming over to Raw as a singles competitor. Yeah. And then going from Raw to SmackDown, I believe, is Rey Mysterio. Yeah, awesome Rey fix-up, but Rey not at WrestleMania either. I believe he's in the same situation as Orton, but he's going to be going over to SmackDown. And then, so many left. And then, sticking on Raw is Ronda Rousey, who was unsuccessful in the Money in the Bank match. I know so many people love Ronda Rousey. But yeah, she's going to be sticking on Raw for now. And then going over to SmackDown from Raw is John Morrison, who hasn't been doing much at all, but he's going over to SmackDown for now. And sticking on Raw is someone who was severely injured in the Money in the Bank match. We don't know when he'll next be back, but he got a 1916 off the ladder that was getting tipped by Lashley onto the steel ramp. And yeah, that is Jay White. So we don't know when we'll see him again. He was getting stretchered out. Then he had Buddy Cassius Ohno thrown into him. So yeah, we have no idea when he'll be back, but he's going on Raw for now. And then for SmackDown, we have another new signee. We have Angel Garza, who was yet to make his debut, but he's going to be going over to SmackDown. Right there. You probably can't see him. And then moving over to Raw is the duo of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. KO returned this week and helped Sami Zayn fend off Nakamura and Okada. So yeah, those guys going over there, joining Okada and Nakamura. So right there. Then SmackDown is getting... Who next? SmackDown is getting The New Day from Raw, so The New Day moving back over from Raw to SmackDown. And yeah, they have not done a lot at all, but they're going over to SmackDown. First ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions in BFW. So going back over there, maybe we might want to capture those. Maybe Woods or Kofi could go after the Cruiserweight title. I don't know. But yeah, so up next for Raw, we have Tyler Bate, who is sticking on Raw. Yeah, Tyler Bate joining Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne coming over here, so maybe we could see British Strong Style together at some point. Maybe. Yeah, Tyler Bate sticking on Raw. And then SmackDown is getting The Miz. That's all I gotta say. I think The Miz was always on SmackDown, so nothing new there. And then moving over from SmackDown to Raw is Bobby Lashley, who was unsuccessful in the Money in the Bank match. But yeah, moving over to Raw for now. Right, all that's left is just random people, so yeah, let's try to go through this quick. Moving over to SmackDown from Raw is Kalisto, who was in the Casino Battle Royale. And yeah, and then moving over to Raw is, from SmackDown, is Yoshitatsu, who was also in the Casino Battle Royale but got thrown out by Rowan at the start. And then moving over from Raw to SmackDown is Elias, whose guitar just fell apart. It's bloody guitar, man. Such a pain. But yeah, you get the point, Elias. Moving over from Raw to SmackDown. Let's put in there. Now Raw is getting... I didn't know whether to include this guy or not. If I can find his goddamn hats. I can't find... Oh no, it's on him. No man, I'm just blind. John Cena, who's going to be moving off from SmackDown to Raw, even though he just shows up wherever. So yeah, let's just say he's on Raw for now. And then SmackDown is getting someone who hasn't been seen in a long time is Kenta / Hideo Itami, going over from Raw to SmackDown Live, I believe, even though he hasn't been seen in ages. But whatever. Now Raw is getting SmackDown's Jerry Bull, former SmackDown champions, going over to Raw. See them there. And now SmackDown is getting Akira Tozawa from Raw. Yeah, Tozawa going over to SmackDown. Now Raw is getting the Usos from SmackDown. I guess the red kind of matches now. They haven't been on Raw before, I believe, in my fed. Unsuccessful at Mania. Yeah, now going over to Raw with the Young Bucks, so that'll be a fun match. SmackDown is getting Lince Dorado. He was also thrown out by Rowan in the Battle Royal. Raw is getting Austin Aries. Hasn't done much either recently. SmackDown is getting the Hurricane, new signee, joining Kane over here, so I'm sure he'll try to get that team back together. Back to Raw now. Returning Bobby Roode, returning the Casino Battle Royale, is heading to Raw. I'm just going to start throwing them in, so I can't be bothered. So that was SmackDown, now Raw. We did Bobby Roode. So sticking on SmackDown is Ty Dillinger. Sticking on Raw is coming over from SmackDown to Raw is Rusev Day, Aiden English and Rusev. I don't think the brands are even, but whatever. So yeah, signing to SmackDown is Tony Nese, who didn't even have a brand anyway. Made his debut at WrestleMania. I really need to switch these arms. Look how weird the forearms look. But yeah, Tony Nese coming to SmackDown. And coming over from SmackDown to Raw is the Authors of Pain. Yeah, nice. Coming over from Raw to SmackDown is American Alpha. So Gable, Benjamin and Jordan, all in American Alpha. To SmackDown. Now from SmackDown to Raw, we have Sanity, so Eric Young, Nikki Cross and Alexander Wolf. Nikki Cross, Ronda Rousey, all on the same brand. Could we get the first ever women's match? I don't know. But yeah, now moving to SmackDown, we have Drew Gulak, who's a new signee. Made his debut in the Casino Battle Royale. Didn't last very long, but yeah, going to SmackDown. I think he was eliminated by Nice in the Battle Royal. Yeah, we only have a few left for Raw. So Raw is getting TJP from SmackDown. SmackDown is going to be getting Raw's Revival, so another tag team for the blue brand. Raw is getting Heath Slater from SmackDown, who was squashed by Trevor Lee this week. Now from Raw to SmackDown we have Kurt Angle, who he was in the Casino Battle Royale, I believe, but didn't last very long. And then sticking on Raw moving over from SmackDown to Raw is Baron Corbin. I'm sure everyone's excited about that one. And then we have Tyson Kidd going over to SmackDown from Raw. And then the last wrestler from for Raw is R-Truth. It's going to be sticking on Raw. And the rest is all SmackDown. But I guess we could put some of these people on Raw just to even it out. But yeah, SmackDown getting Kurt Hawkins. SmackDown also getting EC3. SmackDown getting Enzo. He was destroyed by Lars this week, so he's probably dead, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, you know what, screw it, let's just give everyone else to SmackDown, because that's where everyone was. Didn't really count, so Evan Bourne / Matt Sydal going to SmackDown. Rich Swann going to SmackDown. And the last wrestler pick, is Big Show, mainly just because he's never around, even though he's the GOAT, going to SmackDown from Raw. So that is all the wrestlers done, and the rest is just Paul Heyman in a manager / backstage producer role, staying on Raw. Shane McMahon, who won his general manager position back at WrestleMania, is sticking on SmackDown as GM of SmackDown. And Eric Bischoff is still going to be the manager of Raw. So yeah, that is the draft, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know which brand you think got the best share, which one are your favourite, and some feuds you'd like to see maybe. Some unaffiliated people to any brand is Triple H, CM Punk because he's still injured and we don't know what he's doing. The Rock, who showed up at WrestleMania but he's unknown. Vince because he's the CEO. Heyman, even though he just floats between the two. Bray Wyatt because he disappeared, and Roman Reigns because he is also injured. So yeah, those guys are all not assigned to any brand yet. But if they show up, I'm sure we will find out. But yeah, let me know which brand you think got the best share, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.